Welcome everybody to Monday night's pranayama breathwork class at 7 Chakra Yoga. Glad to see all of you. I hope you're all doing well on the other side of that camera, and I'm looking forward to bringing you through this class. This is actually going to be a repeated class. About 2 weeks ago in one of my classes there was a little technical difficulties and the class cut off about 15-20 minutes early. So I had a few requests by students to repeat this class. It was about understanding, engaging, and directing stress. And I think that skill, not only now, though the pressure is built a little bit more, that is a life skill that we all need to have. The ability to know what stress is, to know how to engage it, where it shows up in our lives, and how it shows up in our body and our mind and our emotions. And then having the skill set, the tools to be able to direct the stress and understand that you're not a victim to it, that you shouldn't be ignoring it because it's a true signal that's coming through you about circumstances, either inside or around you, that you most likely need to pay attention to and to engage. So a lot of these emotions that are considered more challenging emotions, stress, frustration, anger, jealousy, depression, anxiety, these are all the ones that we've learned to push away or to take us over, and we're just victims too. And I find one of the beautiful things that we do within our studio and our practice is to redefine what these emotions are actually within us. If we haven't ever been taught, if we haven't ever been modeled through our parents and through our teachers and through our elders, that these emotions within us are just information, that we can engage them, we can understand what they say, and we can do something. We can engage. Because as soon as we engage what it is we're meant to be engaging, those emotions, the stress, the anxiety release, because it is an expression. These are emotions, and emotions are meant to be expressed through action and communication and through creativity and all the things that are actually kind of enjoyable in life. So we're going to be stepping into that today. But first, let's connect to our body and with our breath. So if you could come sitting up in easy pose. Go ahead and settle in. If you have a pillow, come up on the pillow. If you're on the ground, go ahead and find a nice seat in easy pose. And then if you're on a couch, make sure that your spine is straight. You're not leaning back. We want to be sitting up straight. Eyes are closed, and extend through the crown of your head, so you can feel your spine elongate. When you do this, you should be able to feel your spine get a little bit longer. As you do that, bring your chin in. You'll feel the back of your neck extend. And then lock that in place in a gentle way to hold that. Go ahead and close your eyes. And sit there just for a moment with your eyes closed, crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling, chin is gently in. And just feel your body, feel your toes up to your knees, up to your hips, up to your chest, and all through your abdominals, important region of your body, all the way up to your shoulders and down your arms, elbows, wrists, fingertips, and the last bit from your shoulders up on both sides of your neck, up around each side of your head, front and back of your head, all the way to the crown. And invite all of this in. There's a lot of information, a lot of activity going on in your body. And this is a moment to pause and to drink it in. It's an experience of yourself. So allow yourself to feel where you're at in this moment. It's okay wherever you're at. You may be ready for this practice. You might be a little bit on edge from things that have happened today. Invite it all in. Don't push anything away. One of the beautiful things I've noticed is that when we don't push things away, when we acknowledge what it is we are truly feeling, that feeling gets to resolve. So sense within yourself if there's any unresolved feelings or emotions, and notice what happens as you bring them into your consciousness, as you breathe into those spaces and give them attention, maybe for the first time today or for a while. With your spine still straight, eyes are closed. If you haven't already, go ahead and start connecting with your breath. Your breath starting at your nose, coming down your throat, and imagine it going down your spine, bringing it all the way down your spine, right into the seat, into your chair, into the ground, into the sofa. Breathe in, fill up the foundation underneath you so it's solid. And then as you exhale, allow that breath to go back up your spine, but instead of out your nose, out the crown of your head. Breathing in through your nose, down the spine, filling up your base, your seat. And then exhaling, letting that breath go up your spine, out the crown of your head. And allow yourself to settle into the breath. Notice the rhythm of your breath. It's uniquely yours. Trust that rhythm. See if it's a natural rhythm or if you're working too much with your mind. And if you are, allow your mind to relax so you can feel the rhythm in your body, as if you're dancing with your breath. And see if that doesn't allow you to settle in. Eyes are closed, spine is still straight, and your attention, your awareness with your mind is on your breath, bringing it down, and then bringing it back up, giving it back out, bringing it down to the ground, to the earth, and then leaving it and letting it back out to the universe. We don't own anything, we just borrow and we get to experience the dynamic flow of life. And we as humans tend to get in a bit of trouble when we start grabbing onto things, wanting them to be more permanent than they actually are. So allow yourself to move with the flow of your breath. And notice that delicate flow and how it activates your body, how it sensitizes your body, how it relaxes your body and integrates it. Breath is so simple, always available, eternally free if we learn to use it. So notice right now what a breath is doing for you. Breath is a meditation. It's a nutrient. It's a rhythm and a flow, and it's an integrator that ties together the tapestry of our inner experience of life. Allow yourself to feel that sewing together, that bringing into whole all the parts, the mind, the body, our emotions, our sensations, our feeling, past, present, future desires. Bringing it all in so that you can feel and you can be with it. And as you continue to breathe, allow your breath to become fuller, chest expanding out to the sides so the rib cage opens. The intercostal muscles expand. The lungs feel as full as they can be. And on the exhale, allowing your navel to push in and then up, so that you're pushing out and squeezing your breath out of your lungs. Allow this to be fluid. There's no effort in this, but allow each ends of the breath, the full inhale and the full exhale, to be experienced. And then allow yourself to settle. The breath integrating more so you can relax more. Sense as you're breathing where you may be holding on. As you become more sensitive to what's taking place inside, notice those places where you're holding that aren't quite let go. They could be in your shoulders, they could be in your heart, they could be in your solar plexus, they could be in your hips. Tight spaces, subtle spaces. Allow yourself to notice them and just call them in. Call them in with your breath and bring the breath down into those spaces, filling them up, giving them your attention, giving them your breath, giving them your awareness. Beautiful. Now that your breath is full, slow your breath down. Allow your breath to become half the speed it was once you started. And notice how you can savor your breath. You can feel the subtleness of movement through your nose, through your throat, through your lungs. Beautiful. You're all doing wonderful. Stay with it. And as you're breathing, I'd like to ask you to notice where in your body you hold stress. This is understanding stress, and one of the things that we need to do is to find out where stress first shows up within our bodies. And everybody is unique. I know my space is this right hip. Top of the right hip is where my stress shows up. And I've become so aware of it that I can feel when it's happening at a very subtle level, and then I can take care of it. Before, it used to get a bit more chronic and it would get locked up and tight, and I'd need massages. Now it's me working with it each day, paying attention. So find out in your body where your stress shows up. It might be quite obvious and aware right now, or it might be quite small. And then go ahead, let's take a deep inhale. And go ahead and exhale. Eyes are still closed. Spine is still straight. And go ahead, connecting to your regular breath, feeling the natural flow. And just recognizing 5 minutes of breathing and of consciously paying attention to your body, being guided through your body. What shifts have taken place? What have you become aware of? So let's all go ahead and open our eyes. Great. Welcome back. I'd ask each of you if you can put in the chat where you have found where you hold your first area of stress in your body, so that we can really locate. And we'll also be able to see where people that it's quite different, where each of us hold our stress, either in our necks or shoulders or back or lower backs or heart center or in our gut. So go ahead, type that in if you have a moment. And then what we'll do is we'll start in on really just understanding stress a little bit more. Sometimes, these things we work with within our bodies, we don't completely have the right framework to view them. So we struggle with them because we don't completely understand them. It's kind of like, I don't know if I'm sure a lot of people own cars, but if you look under the hood, you just don't know what's going on down there. It's like, I can change the windshield wiping fluid, I can fill the tires, and anything beyond that, the car is kind of a black box. So with stress, we don't want it to be a black box. We don't want other people being our mechanics trying to tell us how and what we should be doing with stress. What's important is that we end up being able to get under our own hood and to find out where there is misalignment. And that's really what it comes down to. Where am I misaligned? Either in perception, where my perception might not be complete, and I'm doing something that's actually hurting me, or I have perceptions that battle each other, so there's conflict inside of me, misalignment. On an emotional level, there could be a misalignment of emotions, and emotions that keep me tight or keep me deflated. Or there could actually be physical misalignment. Those misalignments in our mind and our body show up in our bodies. So what is happening in the subtlest part of our being, in our minds, how we think, how we feel, and then how we express those feelings or not will determine the context of our body. Are we tight? Are we soft? Are we balanced? Are we imbalanced? Are we holding something, fighting something emotionally inside, and it shows up in my body and it starts to create imbalance in there? And within imbalance, I can assure you it's going to start creating some wear and tear within your body over time. That's so slow you won't notice it until it starts getting chronic, and then you have to do something about it. And this whole practice is we're trying to get into the subtle aspect of our being. The outside world's quite wonderful, but this internal world, what we're finding out is this is where I really experience life. Things go on here, but this is where I actually feel it, see it, sense it, and act upon it. And if I don't have awareness here, it doesn't matter how much awareness I have out here. This right here is the lens I'm seeing the world through. So if there's colors and shadings and filters and blindnesses, these things all need to be understood and slowly removed so that as I understand myself better, the world just comes into focus. It becomes clear. My mind becomes clear-minded instead of foggy. So the first step within understanding stress is to acknowledge that you are actually experiencing it in the first place. It's one of the amazing things. I worked in corporate America for a long time, and sometimes the focus is so much out here, and the schedules are so tight and so busy that there's not much time to breathe. And there's a little story inside us that says that we can't stop. We got to keep going. So if stress, if tension, if tightness shows up, if emotion shows up inside us, very often we don't acknowledge it because we don't think we can, because this takes priority. What we're really saying is the outside world takes priority over my internal world. As soon as we start learning, we get this clean, this outside world becomes a lot easier to deal with, then this becomes the priority. So first is to understand that you are actually experiencing stress, to not deny, not to stuff, not to blame. It's me that's feeling the stress. So where am I feeling it? And how can I address it? What do I have to look at it and understand what it's giving me? Second is to welcome the stress in and to recognize that it's there for a purpose. I sense that a lot of times we look at stress in this world as, stress is pushed on me. This world is a very stressful world, and I just have to deal with it. I'm a victim of it. However, one of the things that I've noticed is that in my own life, the only things I'm stressful about are the things I care about. There are plenty of things around me that I see daily that stress other people out that don't stress me at all. So what it's showing you is stress is showing me is I care about something. You know, it might be a work, it might be a relationship, it might be your children, it might be your parents, it might be the health of the environment or our society. But just understand that that stress is communicating to you a deep value, a deep need, and a deep desire. And it's very important to be able to engage that. And what's important about it is not to just feel it, because sometimes we feel it and we get frozen. We don't think we have anything that we can do to really resolve this. Well, you may not resolve everything completely, but you are meant to express. That stress is not meant to stay in your body. I can tell a number of different ways that, stress throughout the body, starting at the first chakra, people have things like irritable bowel syndrome with diarrhea, we have constipation, we have intestinal problems, we have ulcers, we have heart disease, we have asthma, and then there's all the things that we do to compensate for stress that hurt us even more. People smoke in order to relieve their stress, further damaging lungs. A lot of people drink in order to relieve their stress, and if done at large quantities, destroy the liver. So you can see that by not recognizing stress and not engaging it and releasing it and expressing what it's trying to show you, what happens is we start damaging this body in very significant ways that when we're young don't show up in large quantities, but as we get older, I would say 40s, 50s, 60s, definitely 70s and 80s, the patterns that we create in our lives, the tightness that we hold, start really breaking down the body. So what we're doing is we're learning how to have a dynamic, flexible body, and an open body, and a sensitive body, and an aware mind, so we know what we need to do. And then the last thing that we need to do with stress is that instead of wasting time trying to manage stress because we don't understand what stress is, what we can do is we can use the energy of stress. The energy of stress might be showing us that, hey, I got something I need to learn, or I need to engage, or I need to let go of. And if I can do that, the stress lets go. What's interesting about stress too is that there's different kinds of stress. Not every stress is bad stress or stress that's not desirable. I go hiking up in the Sierra Mountains, and sometimes you're hiking at 9,000, 10,000 feet, low amount of oxygen, high altitude, hot. It's stressful, but it's enjoyable because I'm meeting the challenge, and I know I can meet the challenge. I have water, I have food, I'm in good health, I pace myself. So it ends up being a very enjoyable experience. I meet the challenge. In fact, if that challenge ends up being something I really look positively at, I look at it as an opportunity. I've been a businessman, and to look at something as an opportunity, it might have a lot of challenges, but I'm looking at the opportunity. So the stress and the challenge do not take front and center. It's the opportunity of what I'm creating and what is the possibility and how to figure this out that becomes enjoyable. And then if something really becomes passionate, if it becomes your heart's expression, your purpose and your meaning, then all of a sudden it's like it's not either an opportunity or challenge or even stress that matters. I'm just going to do this because I love it. And there will be a lot of stress, a lot of challenge, a lot of opportunity in it. But what I'm doing is I'm feeling the passion of my own vitality, my own energy moving through me. And when I hit that, and that's really the goal of a lot of what we teach, is how can you find that flow state? How can you find that inner alignment so that the expression of you can just come out just so fully? On the other end of the scale, if we're stuck with stress and we're not able to have skills, we're looping around in a cycle, just repeating something like a dog chasing its tail, but we're not getting anywhere. That becomes quite frustrating. And then over time, that frustration can turn into anger. And that anger is usually expressed one of two ways. It's over expressing anger, people and ourselves, criticism of self and people around, or it's a depression, it's an anxiety, it's a closing down, it's a minimalist view of the world that if I remove everything, maybe the stress will disappear, and it never works. So somewhere in between that, we have this ability to be able to decide what stress is. It's healthy, it's meant to be noticed, it's telling us something, and it's energy. So we can use it to engage our life. So that's a little bit of a contextual map of what stress is. Now what we'll do is, why don't we do some postures and exercises in order to release stress. And stress tends to build up in the body. A lot of people hold stress up here, but what I've noticed is way before it ever comes up to your neck, to your shoulders, to your head as headaches, it's down here in the body, deep inside the body. So as much as we can do through breath and movement to release these areas and to open them up, to move in ways that we don't move in modern world, exercises or everyday activities, to stretch the body, to get that stress out that was deposited. It's really like deposited emotion. And what we're doing is we're just clearing those emotions out of the body. And you don't even have to know what these emotions are very often. If we can just release them, all of a sudden the body feels more open, and then our emotions and our mind feel more available. Mind feels more clear. So why don't we start? What we're going to do is we're going to open up the chest in a kind of a horizontal way. We're going to take our fingers like this, interlacing them, index fingers up. Then what we're going to do is reach up towards the ceiling. And what I'd like you to do is not to just kind of gingerly reach up, but reach up with your hands so your index fingers are trying to touch the ceiling. You'll feel an extension through your spine. Go ahead, pull your chin in so your spine is aligned, and then go ahead and we're going to move to the left, and you're going to feel a big pull on the right side. That's the inhale. And the exhale is going to the right, pull on the left-hand side. Extending to the left, inhale, right, exhale. Now, as you do this, it might be quite common to start bringing the hands down, but you want to extend. This is what allows you to bend to the sides and really extend further. Deep inhale to the left, extend. Deep exhale to the right and extend. Go ahead and bring your hands up over your head too, so they're over the crown of your head, not in front of you. And then try to make your base as solid as possible so it's your spine that's actually bending and twisting. We're just opening up the rib cage, extending the spine. And go ahead at the pace that works for you. Make sure your breath is deep. Deep inhale and deep exhale. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Make sure you're reaching your hands up and feel your body slowly opening. Notice we're not forcing anything here. But as we do this over a period of time, you can naturally feel the body isn't as tight. You've released it. You've opened it. Reaching up. Beautiful. All right, deep inhale up, bring the hands up. And then what I'd like you to do is to extend back. Head is all the way back. Your hands are extending towards the ceiling and reaching back. You're going to feel a big arch in your spine. Hold that. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Bring your chest forward. Let your head fall all the way back. And then release. Go ahead, bring your hands on your knees. Palms are up, eyes are closed. Deep inhales and exhales. And sense as your eyes are closed and you're looking inside your body, what has opened for you as with the breath, everything's a little bit different for everyone. So notice the areas. You might have noticed an area that was tight that you didn't notice when we were just doing long, slow, deep breathing. So we're exploring, we're understanding our own body, understanding where work needs to be done, where opening is required. So go ahead, open your eyes, and go ahead and place your hands on the ground. And what we're going to do is, this is the deep inhale, and you're going to exhale and try to bring your head down, or your forehead down to your knee. This is exhale as you come down, inhale as you come up. Really extend the forehead down to the knee and see if you can touch it. It causes the spine to arch as you bend down. Deep inhales as you come up, extend the crown of the head towards the ceiling so you have a full range of motion. 3-part move. Down to the knee, back up, down to the knee. Create a nice rhythm with this breath. Make sure you're deepening your breath as you come up. Trying to extend your forehead down to your knee. Almost there, keep up. And let's inhale, center. Crown of the head is reaching towards the ceiling. Eyes are closed. Go ahead and feel your body, your chest, your gut, your hips. Notice the amount of awareness that is there compared to when you started class. All right, so we're opening up the chest cavity. Notice a lot of the things that we do in yoga are about the spine. It's our communication highway. We want it to be open. We want it to be flexible, free of stress and tension. So these were big postures that open up the larger muscles. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get down into the spine. Go ahead, take your hands, place them on your heart center. We're going to turn left, inhale, right, exhale. And this is fast. Allow your body to come all the way around. This isn't a controlled movement. You're kind of going left and right and letting the momentum of your body bring you around. Allow yourself to be relaxed as you do this so that the twist, the movement can go deep into the muscles, into the fascia, into the tissue to help open, help relax. Make sure your breath is matching the movement, inhaling left, exhaling right. Eyes are closed. Beautiful. If you can speed it up, please do. Allow your body to become a little bit more relaxed. Great, keep at it. Almost there, eyes are closed. Deep inhales, deep exhales, allow that movement. Eyes are closed, the mind gets a little disoriented. It's not thinking as much, and feel what takes place when that occurs. Beautiful. A few more seconds. And let's all take a deep inhale. And exhale. Eyes are closed. Allow yourself to settle. Just to watch. You're not having to do anything. Just watch what's happening in your body. What's appearing. What's flowing and moving. What might be tight and needing attention. Become super curious and open. And if you could open your eyes. And this is a really great exercise, quite simple for just waking up the body. So what we're going to do is, you can feel we've twisted the body, everything's a little bit more open. Now we're going to activate the body. We're just going to take the hands, starting on your chest, working all over your chest, down the sternum, into the rib cage, into your belly. You can come back up. Work the places that are important to you, that you feel need attention, that feel good. And you can get a pretty solid slapping going on in your body. Make sure it's a flat palm. Not going to do any damage. And as you come down to your navel, come down to the sides of your ribs, come down to your shoulders, to your arms. And then down to your legs, your knees, your thighs, your calves, the sides of your legs. The inner part of your thighs would tend to be really sensitive for some reason. Beautiful. And then you can come back up to your belly and your chest. You can come down to your neck. You can even go to your head and your forehead. What we're just doing is we're waking up the body. If anyone's ever had a Thai massage, this might feel familiar. Go ahead, keep at it. Open up your body. Keep going back to the places that you know need activation, need awakening. Few more seconds. Don't slow down. Don't soften your slaps either. Make sure that you're really opening your body. Beautiful. Nice to see you, Nadia and Geeta and Scott. All right, let's all take a deep inhale. Slowly exhale. Eyes are closed. You can come back into easy pose. Hands are on your lap. Go ahead and feel your body. To feel a bit more alive. Staying connected to your breath. Now we've opened up the chest and the spine and the heart center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a pranayama that brings an incredible amount of balance into the body. Simple one for those of you that are familiar with this practice, to take your right thumb, place it on your right nostril. We're going to be inhaling through our left nostril. And when you're completely inhaled on your left side, take your right pinky, close off the left nostril, exhale through your right nostril. When you're completely exhaled, inhale through your right. And a complete inhale, close off your right nostril, exhale through your left. Completely exhaled on your left, inhale through your left. And then close off your left nostril, exhale through your right. This is alternate nostril breathing. And especially after a movement and breath set as we did, this is a balancing breath. We're opening up the body, and then when we're bringing in is something that balances the nervous system. So what we do is we open the nervous system, we open the physical body, we open the nadis, the energy centers, and then we insert a rhythm. And the rhythm is the dance between the right and the left side of our body, the right and left nostril. Allow your breath to be full, allow it to be slow so that you can savor this. There's no rush at this. In fact, you want this to be slow so that you can feel the subtle movement within your body. Allow the breath to be even fuller, bringing the lungs out, filling up the top of the chest and the shoulders and the neck. And sense how this balancing between the right and the left side, the right and the left nostril, gives a certain rhythm that you can just lay into. You're no longer doing with your mind. You're sensing with the body and flowing with that rhythm. It's the rhythm of dance, it's a rhythm of music, it's a rhythm of sports when people are at the top of their game. Less head, more sensing through the body. A lot of information coming through there. As we can quiet our minds to listen to that. Tell us how we need to move, what we need to pay attention to, what we either need to let go of or what we need to engage, and certainly what we need to express so that we can truly be ourselves and express who we are. Allow this breath to bring you deeper. Deep inhales. Alternating between the nostrils. You can go ahead and roll your eyes up to your brow point. This is called a dristi. It's an eye lock, just like we have hand locks, which are called mudras. These dristis lock our attention. It locks the mind into a single point of focus. See what that does for you if you roll your eyes and you focus just right at your brow as you complete this breath. Not trying hard on focusing, allow it to be a light gaze. As if you're gazing out into the universe from inside of yourself. Eyes are still closed, allowing yourself to move through the inhale and exhale of this alternate nostril breathing. And let's take our last deep inhale. Go ahead and suspend your breath. Allow yourself to hold your breath in this really gentle space. Allow yourself to float in that stillness. You're not even breathing. Quiet mind, open body. Feel what that shows you, what that experience is for you. It's usually quite beautiful. Enjoy that. And then when you need to, go ahead and exhale. Eyes are still closed. Staying with your breath. All right, let's take a deep inhale. Slowly exhale. Deep inhale. And let's go ahead and open our eyes. So welcome back. Integration, balance. We're moving between other halves of ourselves, creating a rhythm within our body. We've stirred the body up. Now what we do is we give it something to harmonize to. And feel if you can sense that. It's gentle, which is really what it's meant to be. It's not meant to be over the top. It's really workable. Now imagine being in this state. I'm in it right now, and this state, engaging the world. I know every time I am in this state of mind, in this state of body, the way I engage the world, the way I see the world is completely different. Much more open, much more engaging, much more creative, much more energy. So this is when we start seeing that coming back to ourselves and learning about stress and learning what it means and learning to release it, that we manage this. We take care of ourselves, but not in a selfish way. We take care of ourselves in a very wholesome way so that we can serve what needs to be served outside of us. So we're going to now step into what's called prananapti meditation. Beautiful, meant to open the heart. We're going to take our hands in Gyan mudra. What you want to do is you want to bring your arms kind of like this. So they're going to be up, well, maybe even a little bit more, about 90 degrees. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing these arms back on the inhale. And you're going to take 8 seconds. So you're going to hear this bell. So let's bring our arms back. And you wait for the next bell. Squeezing, that's the, now we release it, waiting for the next bell. So it takes 8 seconds to bring the arms back. Exhaling as you come forward, inhaling as you come back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then slowly releasing. Hearing the bell, inhaling, bringing the arms back, squeezing the shoulder blades. And then releasing, coming back to neutral. Inhaling as you go back, opening your heart center, bringing those elbows up and back. And then releasing, 8 seconds. So the exhale is 8 seconds inhale, 8-second exhale. Keep those elbows up so you really open the heart center, feel the stretch. And on the exhale, keeping the elbows up. Bring the elbows forward. Pulling the elbows back, inhaling, squeezing the shoulder blades together, holding it, and then exhaling, coming back to neutral. Inhaling, bringing the shoulder blades back, squeezing, holding that squeeze. And then exhale, release. 8 seconds, arms slowly coming forward. Inhale, bring the arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades, hold the tension, hold the elbows back, and then release. 8 seconds, bring the elbows forward. Inhale, elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades, create tension between the shoulder blades. And then exhale, slowly release. Beautiful. Keep this up. Keep those elbows up as you do this. Very important. This is pressurizing the 8th vertebrae, which is right in the upper middle part of the back. We're activating part of the vagus nerve, part of the parasympathetic nervous system here. So feel as you release. If there is a release that you're experiencing, allow your breath to be full on the inhale, so your lungs are completely full and you're really pulling those elbows back to create compression between the shoulder blades. All right, let's complete this. Go ahead as you come forward on the exhale. Bring your hands down on your knees. Eyes are closed. Go ahead and feel your heart center, your upper back, your shoulders. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do shoulder shrugs, but this is a different type of shoulder shrugs. This is more like a shoulder dance. If you look here, I'm going to do shoulder shrugs like this. I'm going to do alternate shoulder shrugs. I'm going to do backwards and forwards shoulder shrugs. So what you're doing is you're just moving your shoulders whatever way that feels right. Dancing, moving side to side. Rolling your shoulders, bouncing your shoulders. Bringing one shoulder forward, one back. Talk about releasing the body and getting the gunk out, the scales of emotions out, the residue. Let it out. Don't hold back. We've got a few minutes. I want to make sure you get the most out of this. All right, deep inhale. Holding your breath at your heart center, eyes are closed. Slowly exhale. And then we're going to come right back to the first posture, bringing the elbows up with Gyan mudra. As we inhale, 8 seconds, we're holding the pressure between the shoulder blades. 8 seconds till the bell rings, and then we release, exhaling. Bring the elbows forward, and then inhale, bring the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades. Hold that pressure between your shoulder blades. Hold your elbows up, and then release. 8-second release. Bring the elbows forward. Inhale, bring the elbows back, squeeze. Hold the elbows up, and then release. Go ahead. Make sure you're really applying that pressure in the shoulder blades. That's the trick here of opening up that space. Start to put your mind's eye in the center of your back where that compression's taking place. So you can feel what's taking place underneath and between the shoulder blades, on the spine. All right, let's all take a deep inhale and bring your hands down to your knees. One more time, we're gonna do shoulder shrugs, but this is just simply bringing the shoulders up and down. Using a powerful breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. Beautiful. Keep going. Use your breath. Allow your shoulder blades and shoulders to really open here. Bringing the shoulders all the way up to your ears and then letting them drop down powerfully. And then let's all take a deep inhale, bring your shoulders up. Go ahead and apply your root lock here, focusing at your brow. And then slowly exhale. Eyes are closed. Spine is straight. Make sure your chin is in so you have a beautiful alignment with ease. Now connect with your body and sense if you can feel those stresses that are normal to you in everyday life. They probably aren't there right now. So this right now is a beautiful baseline to remember. A little bit of work. This is why we practice every day, is to get to this space so that we can remember it and we can hopefully stay within it. This balanced state of neutrality, of openness, of happiness, of energy. Not free of stress, but free of the burdensome stress, the stress of drudgery and of task. But more, we want that stress that's like that active, that energized stress, that stress of I want to go do something, I want to challenge myself, I want to find out what these muscles and this mind and this heart can do in this world. See if you can feel that space within you. And all of this is just simply learning to make a connection to these spaces. And if that connection is made deeply enough that I know this space and I know how to return to it, and especially I know when I'm not in it. This is much of our practice. This is the practice of awareness. If we're not aware in here, there is no way we're going to be aware out here. So find your awareness inside. Find where you need to release, relax, grow, strengthen, and sensitize your own being. And I thank you for joining me tonight. I hope the remake of this class was of value, and thank you, Gita, for suggesting to redo this class. And I hope to see you next Monday. Just to let you know, we are looking to reopen the studios. I believe it's next week. We're planning on doing in Huntington Beach classes out in the park. And this is going to be over in the Central Park, the library park. And information is going to be supplied by the website and by our internet and Facebook and Instagram. And then we're going to be doing sound baths up in Placentia, which are going to be inside, but they're going to be a little bit more controlled with face masks and social distancing. We're trying the best we can to work with what we got and to be as flexible to see what works and what does not. And I hope you can join us on that. Also, for those of you that haven't connected to our online studio, we've got hundreds of hours worth of videos that you can watch, which are these breath classes and the pranayams and all. Go in there and you can have access to all these tools so you can learn how to connect and deal with this state of being, our own being. And we learn how to drive this car and to navigate through life. So, hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you again. Good night.